Fabian, nice to see you. Big weekend for you. 50th Premier League match in charge. What's your proudest achievement in that time so far?
The best achievement. What do you mean with?
What are you most proud of? So in your time in that 50 games.
I think I always emphasize that being a head coach from Brighton Hove Albion is like a privilege. So I'm really proud of being a head coach. I'm really proud of working with really good staff members, with really good experts that drive a really good culture. I'm really privileged that I work with great leaders, with great personalities as players, with a great group, with a group that really drives the togetherness, who tries to get better every day, no matter how many circumstances, no matter how many adversities they face, they always try to stick together. And I think the biggest thing, what I really love as a job, is to see a team developing, to see an individual developing, to see how they get the potential out of themselves by an intrinsic motivation. And all these kind of things, I really enjoy doing it. And I always emphasize that this club is special. This club has a great identity. And I think identity is the most important. And we try to keep on driving. We try to keep on working hard, because on the one side we are known for great values, but on the other side we want to be known for success, and that's really what we live for, what we work for, and we have to keep pushing to achieve it.
So where do you want Albion to be in another 50 Premier League games?
Better than we are now, and then we see what happens. And the main thing, what I always say, is like, first of all, it's the togetherness. Then second of all, we really need to deliver. Now we really need to bring the performance on the pitch. It's time now to show the right performances. It's time now to don't search for any excuses, and that's what we try to go for, to make our supporters proud, to make our supporters happy. And I think that's our responsibility, and that's what we have to drive the next phase, and then we see what happens.
That's the final international break done now until March, so lots of games coming up. I know it can be frustrating that it keeps starting, but there's been so much drama in the internationals and really good moments for some Brighton players as well this last week. Do you enjoy getting swept up in that drama and also seeing Germany qualify, of course?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm 100% involved. We just watched yesterday together the draw, because we have so many players and also staff members involved to qualify for the World Cup. So we have already players who are qualified with their countries, and it's a big achievement for them, and we celebrated it. And then on the other side, we still have players and also staff members with Crofty for Wales, with Yassin for Sweden, with Coppola for Italy, with 30 for Turkey, who are still involved in trying to qualify and trying to fight to get to the World Cup. And for sure, we are really involved. So we all watched it together, and it was very exciting to watch it draw. And now we hope the best for our Crofty and for our players, that they can reach and qualify for the World Cup, because it's just something special.
Yeah, I know you didn't go into specifics of it last time, but after the last international break, you talked about how maybe you weren't happy with how some nations had looked after your players. Has it been better this time round?
Definitely, yeah. It was better.
Okay, good. So let's check on the fitness of some players. Quite a few to go through, if that's okay. So Yassin Ayari, the first. Did he pick up an injury for Sweden? Is he okay? I know he was named on the bench for the second match, but didn't.
He's fine.
So he's available. Okay, great. And good to see some footage of Karim Mitoma during the international break as well. Solly March, Jack Hinshelwood. How far away are they in terms of coming back? Are they available this weekend?
Jack Hinshelwood is an option. He will be definitely on the bench. Solly March is getting really close, so I think it's only question of 2-3 weeks maybe to see him back. So this will be also so exciting for me, for us, for him to see him back in our group. I think it's a long time we've been away, and we're all looking forward to having him back. I can make it short. So Brian Gruda is also an option. I think that would be the next question. And then we still have like Adam Webster and James Milner who will be out for the next, I think. So James Milner for the next 2-3 weeks, and Adam long term. Carew is it's not an easy thing to predict. So I think in the last international break already said it's just a question of 2-3 weeks, but now it's getting close. It's only a thing where he has to handle the pain, so it's not a big issue. Like everything is healed, so he should be fine. We just have to see how he can handle the pain, and then I can't say when he will be back exactly, but I'm sure that it doesn't take that long.
When you say you handle the pain, is that so an injury has healed, or did he need more time or a procedure on something eventually? Or
the injury, like I said, it's healed, so everything is fine structure wise, and now it's just about like how he can handle the pain, and that's something what we have to figure out with him. There are different methods to go through. There are different things, but it's very individualized, so you can't say that this method is working every time for the player. So really have to understand like how the player reacts on pain, how he reacts on different methods to overcome the pain, and there we have to find the right way for him. And then I'm sure that he will be back quick, because we already saw him on the pitch. So he's already working hard. He's getting like physically into a good shape. It's just like making the last step.
Okay, just last one from me. Brentford are a very different side compared to when you played them in April, that 4-2 defeat. All those goal scorers for Brentford have gone. Head coach has changed. It's now Keith Andrews. How much have they changed in terms of their style since then?
I think they're very effective and good in understanding how to win games. So they're really good in transition. They are really good in set pieces, and they're really good in understanding like how to keep away the opponents from their goal. So all these things you need to do well to win Premier League games, and therefore they're really good in these kind of things. So it's another challenge. It's a challenge to understand how to take away their strengths regarding transition, regarding set pieces, throw-ins, and to keep them away from our half, to not let them enter into our final third. And then on the other side, it's a challenge to break their low block, because they're doing it really good. They're defending it with a good structure, with players who have good intensity. In general, their team, they're really physical. In general, their team, they run a lot, they work a lot. So it will be a different challenge, and therefore we need to be prepared.
Thank you.
Hi Fabian, what did you learn from your time with the England rugby team during the international break?
I learned a lot. I learned that it's really important, like in their culture, it's really important to have like good balance between joy, learning, and work ethic, and that's something what they really understand. Not only the staff members and the coaches, also the players, that they understand how to create this culture. On the other side, it's very players led. So the players take a lot of ownership, the players take a lot of responsibility. So these are all kind of things I think we can really learn from them. They do it quite well. They do it really good in building like a culture where players taking responsibility. They're doing well in building a culture where they really emphasize it's about everyone has to take ownership. So matter it's on the pitch, beside the pitch, everyone is responsible for the success, and that's something what I really like. And then on top of that, of course, they handle games different. So the head coach is always in the stands. The head coach is always observing, not that emotional involved on the sideline. It's really like more overseeing things like an analyst and making like decisions from the stands. So that's something what might be the future in football as well. So yeah, there are a lot of things and also a lot of similarities you can take away, and I'm always keen on learning. I'm always keen on trying to bring really good things from other kind of sports into our business, because you're living in a bubble. You're living in a football bubble, and most of the times you try to find like answers on different questions in the football bubble, but sometimes the answers are in another bubble, and therefore I think it's important to see the answers or to find the answers in another kind of sports, because they're also really good cultures, really good coaches, really good environments where you can learn from.
You previously said that set pieces were game changing and match winners. Brentford score a lot of their goals from set pieces and the long throw. What do you make of the long throw this season? There's been plenty of chat about it.
I think I already said it that or we faced it now against Palace. It's just stopping the rhythm of the game. So we compared like the netto time we played, for example, against Leeds, and then we go to face Palace. So I think the difference was about 5 to 6 minutes. So you play like 5-6 minutes less football, and I think that's not the thing for what the supporters, for what the fans are paying, and therefore I hope that we find like a rule that the game is still the most important. The football, like to have the football on the pitch is still the most important, and to keep the game like fluid. So like I said, I think one rule was excellent what the FA implemented regarding the goalkeeper rule, so that the goalkeeper only has like 8 seconds having the ball in the hand, and it just keeps the game flowing. It just like much more actions on the pitch, and I think that's something where we have to think about, that it's not turning too much into set piece, it's not turning too much into stopping the rhythm, it's not turning too much that the ball is outside of the pitch. And on the other side, it's a thing where we have to adapt. On the other side, the thing we have to adjust. So I talked about like building and creating a set piece culture, and therefore we also brought like a set piece coach in. So it's not only about trying to stop them doing good set pieces, also about us doing good set pieces and trying to create also danger by doing great throw-ins, great corners, great free kicks, and that's what we try to emphasize as well. So on the one side, it's like adapting, adjusting to them. On the other side, it's also building your own set piece culture and trying to be also dangerous in creating a match winner or game changer by your own set pieces.
Brentford made their set piece coach their head coach. Have you been impressed with some of the results he's got for Brentford this season, Keith Andrews?
Yeah, really impressed, and I know him a little bit, and he's a great person. He had a great start with Brentford. Like I said, he and them, they really understand how to win the games. They're really efficient in the way how they do it. So it's always difficult to play against Brentford. We experienced it the last season, so now it's really about us to make it better. It's really about us to learn from these things and try to step in tomorrow into the game, and from the first second try to do all the things we didn't do well in the last games against them, try to improve them and win the game.
It'll also be Jorginho Ruter's 50th Premier League appearance if he's involved tomorrow. Have you been impressed with how he's developing under you?
Yeah, so how he adapted to the Premier League was impressive. How he started was impressive. I think then he had this injury, what brought him a little bit out of his rhythm, what stopped his great performances. And now it's about us and about him to get him back to his best shape. I think he has everything. He has a very special profile. He is a very special player, but I think there's still a lot of potential in him. So now it's about him, about us to get this full potential out of him, to get him to get him as quick as possible into his best shape, and then I think he can be a key player for us.
Fabian, as you head into your 50th game, the home form, unbeaten this season. You've only ever lost 3 Premier League games at the Amex. You said you wanted it to be a fortress. Where are you on that journey in terms of getting it to where you want it to be in terms of playing at the Amex?
Quite far, I would say. So I think it's really difficult to beat us in our stadium together with our fans, and that's what I said from the beginning, from my start here. I want that we can really feel that's our game, that's our castle, like I said. So we have to make it really difficult for every opponent to come to the MX, and that's what we always have to do. And I always emphasize it's about us bringing the energy and the intensity on the pitch, that this energy comes to the stands, and then it's like togetherness we have in the stadium, and therefore I'm quite happy how far we are regarding this development. But we have to keep pushing it. We can't be satisfied. We always have to understand that it's a lot of work we have to put into the games, a lot of energy, a lot of intensity, and that's always the basic thing. We have to start from the first second to be intense, to work hard, to outwork, to outrun the opponent, and then together with our fans we can be a very, very strong home squad, and that's what we have to keep doing.
In terms of Brentford, what did you learn from those games last season in terms of taking on them? They are a different sort of animal now in terms of Mbumo's gone, Wissa's gone, the keeper's gone. You know, how well do you think they've coped with the loss of quite big players for a club like Brentford?
I think they coped quite well. So they had really good replacements. Starts with the goalkeeper, then they brought in a new striker. They still have very physical and fast wingers with Shah. They brought them Utara, who's a danger in transition. Still have Damsgaard, who's a key player for them. Added like Henderson, who brought them a lot of experience, a lot of quality. So therefore I think there's still similarities. They're shown still a big danger regarding set pieces, still a big danger regarding transition. So these are things we really have to avoid, and these are also things we didn't make so well when we faced them last season. So these are really like small margins where we have to improve. And we just mentioned it, set pieces can be always like game changer, match winner, and therefore we need to get an understanding that we have to be switched on all the times. And the second thing regarding transition, it's about us like being patient, don't make like easy technical mistakes, don't force it. Try to understand that not every pass has to be like a vertical pass, not every action has to be finished within 5 or 10 seconds. So we need to be patient, we need to understand when to break the lines, and I think that's something where we have to improve, and that's something also what we try to do better tomorrow.
And you mentioned about Keith Andrews. You mentioned you sort of knew him vaguely. You've spoken to him at all. I mean, obviously he's another young coach coming to the Premier League, slightly different route, and of course he's an ex-Albion player as well. So how aware of that, and what conversations have you had?
I think it's always important to understand how other teams, for example, Brentford is always known for really good set pieces, and I just mentioned we brought in a new set piece coach. I think it's important. In some ways, you can learn also from others how they build this culture, how they are doing so well regarding set pieces, how much time you need to invest, and therefore, Keith Andrews he really like was the energizer regarding set pieces for several years for Brentford, and he did an unbelievable job. Now he has a different role, but you still see that they're doing well in set pieces. And like I said, to do set pieces well is also a big quality. So set pieces are not easy to train, are not easy to deliver during the match day. So that's also a big quality, and that's what I meant before. It's a way to win Premier League games, and if you do it well, you can win a lot of Premier League games. And that's why I was really impressed how he did it and how they still do it, and that's why I try to learn also from them regarding how to implement it. And I'm really happy for him how he started his career as a head coach. And tomorrow we are like enemies, but I'm still a supporter from him.